Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Lead Loving Life Podcast, episode 31. I am so excited to be here with you as always. And episode 31, wow, every time I shout out our episode numbers, I just smile because, who knew? Anyway, today I am happy to be back here with you talking about women leaders, talking about all things that come from the importance to women and about women, for women, all of the great things. And the thing I want to talk about today is a part of the framework that I use. If you've been here for a minute or two, you know that I work with the framework for my individual group and business clients, and that is of presence, purpose, and power for impact. So we kind of go through the loop, if you will, the flow of starting with presence, determining purpose, using those two to multiply and synergize our power so that we can create our impact and our ripples in unimaginable ways for great impact. The subject I want to talk about today is our particular gift of being able to be present, our being women, being present and lead with presence, because that is a unique ability to women. And it is very, very powerful and often underrated, if you will. It's one of those leadership skills that, quote, is invisible, soft skill, kind of runs in the background or under the radar. I would disagree with those because I think it is fundamental in all of our interactions, whether they're one on one, whether they're business, whether they're in a group, in a networking, whether you're leading a meeting, whether you're leading an event, whether you're on a stage. Your presence is what draws people in, and it's what keeps people connected to you and leaning into you, right? There's a connection. It's energy, it's interest, it's all of those things. So it's the most basic level to me when I think about it. Presence is it's the ability to create a safe environment, whether it's an in real life, person to person environment, whether it is a digital space of some sort, whether it's a phone call. You don't have to be in the same physical room to be able to need to and be able to create a safe environment for people. And what does that mean, safety? It means that people can be themselves. People can show up as who they are. They can ask questions, they can interject comments, and they feel safe and held in the space that you are creating for them and managing for them. And then the next piece of it is maintaining that, right? Holding the energy and helping navigate and manage the energy in a room. And it doesn't have to be overt. It can be kind of down low. Sometimes it needs to be overt, and we need to like corral people back to task or to focus. Often, more often than not, though, it can be navigated in a way that just kind of shifts and redirects and gets us back on task and on topic. The other thing too, and part of that is we can influence without forcing, right? Our energy and our presence is at the forefront. It's leading the space, it's leading the people, it's leading the process. And for those of us that do this on a regular basis, I love it. It is like one of my favorite things to do. And I'm really, really um, taking the next level of this and being present in all that I do. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. The in-person group spaces are just, they light me up more than anything right now. All of it does, but the in-person spaces are just next level. Hello, beautiful souls. If you're one of my local listeners, I want you to please listen up. I am hosting a Women's Wisdom Circle April 4th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's a Saturday. And I am inviting a few women in to help us discuss and process our quarter one goals. Whether you have set your goals and met or surpassed them, whether you created a list and manifestations that you wanted to make real and have done nothing, or somewhere in between, or you just want to start over again, this is the session for you. We will have a small group of women connecting, and we will work on together recreating, realigning, refining anything that we've already set up, or recreating if that's where we are together. No shame, no pressure, no pretending. Just show up exactly as you are, and we will be there to support each other. No matter what, I am always on your side. I am always cheering you on. We will be a group of powerful women choosing conscious leadership. Join us again, April 4th, 10 to 1, registration link in the show notes below. I hope to see you there. So the basis for this is, in order to lead with presence, you yourself have to be grounded. Like, you have to be aligned, and you have to do whatever it takes to do that before you start a meeting, before you have a connection, before you start your day. Most of us have our morning practice, our morning rituals where we have quiet time, journaling, devotional time, meditation time, just that time to gather ourselves and ground into who we are, why we're here, and what we're doing today. And it starts from our values. What are our values to the deepest core of who we are that define us and how we show up consistently? That's values, right? It's not something that's fleeting. It's something that doesn't change. We may add things to our values that become more important over time, but our core values don't shift. They're based in integrity and honesty and authenticity. The other thing is, it's embodiment of all of these things, and it's embodiment of confidence. And it's not confidence in an arrogant way, it's confidence in a knowing way, knowing that we are here to lead, we are here to serve, and that our presence is just one of those ways that we do that, right? And it's funny because now that I have been using this framework for a while, and because I've been talking about it, I talk with clients, I talk with other women that I work with, other women that I'm friends with, and it is the presence component is just so important. It is like the basis for all that we do when we are truly stepping into our most authentic self. We can't do that from this headspace, this space where we're disconnected from ourselves. We can do it, but we can't do it as well. We can't do it well, I should say. So how do we do this, and what's the result of this, right? We get to show up, and we get to, we trust ourselves, and we demonstrate self-trust, and we model self-trust, and we do that through our honesty. And it's not all rainbows and unicorns. We all have bumps in the road. We all have challenges. Thank goodness. We're all unique. We're all human. We have our own stories, our own reasons for being here, and our own journey to where we are right now. And we get to share that and be honest about it. And we get to be consistent. We show up over and over and over again. We build trustworthiness and let people know that we are reliable by doing these things. And then they see that not only are we present and leaning into and living from our values, but we are approachable. We're confident in ourselves and in our knowing and how we're showing up. And that makes us attractive. It makes us people want to seek us out. They want to ask us questions. They want to learn more. They want to just hang out. And it's again, like, it's not a confident, arrogant confidence. It's a confident in knowing and connection. And people are magnetized to that. So remember that. The other things I think that are so important and that are not necessarily spoken all that often. I've been posting a lot on social media about this, right? Like, we lift others, we connect with others, we support other women in all that they do. It's not competition, it's collaboration. We champion other women's events, we champion other women's work, and we recognize women. We recognize the support they provide For example, we have other women that help us, right? We have people that some of us have social media people, some of us have virtual assistants, some of us have a team that supports us in all that we do. And we recognize that. We recognize that we can't do it alone, and giving credit to others and giving opportunities to others. The one of the things that I love most about eWomen Network, which is the national organization that I belong to, is that part of what we do, and the biggest part, is get to know each other so that we can help each other build our businesses. So when someone comes to me and says, "Hey, do you know someone who is great at helping families get a loan for the first time, for example?" Oh yeah, like I have 3 people that I can give you off the top of my head that you can meet with and see who you connect with best. That is amazing. And the ability to be able to tell a story and relate their gifts and their strengths and why we're championing them and recognizing them and referring them. It's amazing, right? We connect in all of these ways. And it is so important to lean into this presence, or we miss it. If we're not present in our bodies, I talk a lot about this with my clients because we're high achievers. And so we spend a lot of time in our head, like, okay, what's next? And what are we planning for? And how are we showing up? And what are all the things? And if we don't take that and embody it and be present, you have to be present to do that. And everybody has their own process. And like I said, I work with my clients and we help them create a process and a ritual, or, a routine that serves them in that and helps them be present in an embodied way. And they see differences very quickly when we do that. And it's important because we get to we get to show up for people in a reliable way. We get to amplify ourselves and our who we are and how we're serving by showing up for others, by sharing our gifts and our unique skills, and then connecting others and referring and amplifying others and all of that. It also, when you are embodied, think about it. Not everybody that listens to this podcast is a formal leader. Not everyone is in front of a room or running meetings or speaking. However, every one of us are in a room at some point in time with others. And if you're not leading the room, I encourage you, and even if you are, I encourage you to look around and see how the presence of others and your own presence shifts and guides the energy in the room, right? So if you have a leader that is leading the meeting from a very reactive perspective or a reactive energy, you're going to feel it. It's not going to be smooth. It's going to be like just responding one off. There's no cohesion. There's kind of like whack-a-mole, right? You're just trying to keep things kind of under the control. When you have presence and embodiment in a leader of a meeting or a presenter on stage or at a conference or a workshop, they lead with intentionality. They lead with clarity. They lead with calm. And when you can spot that in a room that you're not leading in, you can see the power in it and you can learn from it and emulate it and support it, right? We can support each other's energies of presence and leading whatever it is. And if you decide not to do that, at least notice it and appreciate it, because it doesn't happen in all of the rooms. That's the other thing. You can look around and see where it's visible and noticeable and tangible and where it's not. So I really wanted to today just help you understand from my perspective and in the work that I do and in all of the years of my experience running companies that, this has been an evolution for sure in my skills and in my leadership and my helping others in developing their leadership. The key to so many things and a foundational skill for so many things is presence. And I want you to remember that and think about it. Save this episode, share this episode. If you want to come back to it or you want to someone else to understand this more, I think that to me, presence is one of the foundational items of transformational leadership. That's what I do. And that's who I work with. And that's who you are at some level, whether it's formally or informally, whether you have a leader in your title or whether you're just out and about in the community or out and about in your family, taking notice, taking charge. You are influential, you're impactful. And being present helps you make a difference. It helps you make an impact no matter what you're doing. I am so glad that you tuned in today. I'm always glad that you're here with me. You know that this is such a personal mission and joy for me to show up for you every other week on this podcast. So reach out, let me know what you think of this episode. As always, please like, comment, share all of the things, share the episode. And I just want you to know it's Women's History Month. Like I said, I think this is the second episode of the month that will be in the month of March 2026. Just know that I'm always cheering you on. I always believe in you. And whether I know you or not, doesn't matter. I am cheering you on. I am here for you. And I want you to go out and show up and it's time to step up and step out. I keep saying that over and over again. So do it. Do whatever that means for you, however that looks for you. And stay tuned for our next episode. And I will see you back here. Big love, beautiful souls.